My name is Bill Schaeffer, and I have another book review. Today's book, The Complete Poems of Stephen Crane. Stephen Crane lived at the last half of the 1800s. He died young at age 27 and is best known today for his story, The Red Badge of Courage, that we all had to read in high school. Little else is known of his work popularly, though. I found 4 poems by Stephen Crane in a literature anthology years ago, and I loved him. I had an extreme difficulty finding any other poems that Stephen Crane wrote. Finally, a friend gave me this book, and I've enjoyed it thoroughly. I've reread it numerous times, and I love the poetry of Stephen Crane. During his life, Stephen Crane only published 2 slim volumes of poetry. The first was called Black Riders and Other Lines, and the second was called War is Kind. Besides these 2 volumes, he had a few unpublished poems, but not much else. His poetry and his vision is great. I love his poetry. He writes of existential themes, a kind of a bittersweet meaning of life, cynical but not sarcastic. But every one of his poems seems enigmatically insightful. And his poetry can be read again and again, and I'm not sure why it's so interesting. Number 88 is one of the original 4 poems I read and is still one of my favorites. The wayfarer, perceiving the pathway to truth, was struck with astonishment. It was thickly grown with weeds. "Ha," he said, "I see that none has passed here in a long time." Later he saw that each weed was a singular knife. "Well," he mumbled at last, "doubtless there are other roads." Number 44. I was in the darkness. I could not see my words, nor the wishes of my heart. Then suddenly there was a great light. Let me into the darkness again. Number 47. Think as I think, said a man, or you are abominably wicked. You are a toad. And after I thought of it, I said, I will then be a toad. Number 3. In the desert, I saw a creature, naked and bestial, who, squatting upon the ground, held his heart in his hands and ate of it. I said, Is it good, friend? It is bitter, bitter, he answered, but I like it, because it is bitter and because it is my heart. And these are a few of the poems by Stephen Crane. And all of them are wonderful, and you can read them again and again in their simplicity and their insight, and the way he uses language is just very appealing to me. I highly recommend The Complete Poems of Stephen Crane. Thank you, and leave your comments below.